It is Wednesday, October 1st, and as you know, on the first of the month, the energy of that day carries through for the rest of the month. So you may want to save this video for future reference because this energy is going to be an undercurrent all month long. So what have we got today? So first of all, the asteroid Juno has moved into the sign of Sagittarius today, and Juno represents our committed relationships. It's those long-term partnerships, everything from romantic, of course, marriages, all the way through business partnerships, long-term friendships, anything where you're really committed to each other, and family partnerships as well. So with Juno moving into Sagittarius, that brings an element of adventure, of exploration, and that can be on any plane. Anything from like philosophizing more with your partners, and like doing a lot of big picture thinking, like kind of stepping outside the details and seeing, how we can explore, how can we expand, how can we make this relationship better just by doing those activities, philosophizing, like I said, or watching a movie that blows your mind, or going out into physical adventures, going out to explore a national park, or go travel somewhere together. All of those kinds of things are really highlighted with Juno going into Sagittarius. Then we've got a couple of different midpoints going on in the sky now, which also encourage us to kind of break out, do big things, use our skills and talents in exciting and new ways, and make changes in our world. But then we've got these like 4 different high vibes that are active. There's the 261, 254, 179, and 7 vibes that are active. And when I say vibes, I mean just multiplying the chart by that number and seeing where the planets really resonate. So instead of explaining what all those vibes mean, I'm going to kind of give you the synthesis of the meaning, because they're all kind of related in a lot of ways. So those vibes are about really working, like it's a theme that we've had all week, working in a really quiet way, in a really focused way, concentrating our efforts either alone or with other people, but really pretty small amounts, and looking at the patterns and the structures that we've had traditionally in our society. There's a bee flying around me. Anyway, looking at those patterns and structures, and then putting together everything you've learned over the course of your life, everything that you've come to know and know is true, and looking at those patterns and structures that exist and finding out where the problems are in those, and then using everything you know and everything you've learned and all your experiences to kind of figure out and plan ways to modernize those, to update those patterns and structures. And that can be in any area of life. Again, it can be in your family life, it could be in your work life, it can be in the bigger spectrum, if you're active in politics or in activism or anything like that. But using everything you know to plan and figure out how to make changes in a big way going forward. And doing your part, because obviously we can only do our part, but how can you contribute to that in whatever area of life you're being called to do that now? So that is the tone, I guess, for the entire month of October. So we'll see how that plays out along the way, but I hope this is helpful to you as a foundation, and I will catch you next time.